Out of so many retreats that I have followed, about 75% of the retreats, the introduction is on the question, who am I? Who are you? The preacher or the facilitator of the retreat has always brought that question at least 75% of the times. It is a most fundamental question, and true enough, most of our crises in life, in our relationship, are based on or centered around this fundamental question. Most of us struggle to know who we are. At the same time, most of us try to convince others whom we are. And we thirst for recognition, and we need others to understand us. In the Bible, there are only a very few places where God speaks directly. In the Bible, we have only a few places where the Holy Spirit appears in bodily form. But at the baptism of the Lord, at Jordan River, we find the Trinitarian revelation, the presence of Jesus, God the Son, then God the Father's voice, and the Holy Spirit in the form of a dove. The Trinitarian revelation is expressed at the baptism of the Lord, which we celebrate today, at the culmination of the Christmas season and at the beginning of the ordinary time. Therefore, the baptism of the Lord connects both heaven and earth. The baptism of the Lord connects the divinity and the humanity. We hear the words in the gospel, "You are my beloved Son." When we read Genesis chapter 2, we find these same words about the beloved Son. When Abraham was ready to sacrifice his son, the inheritance, his dream child, when he was about to kill, and Isaac is referred as the beloved son. Jesus makes his self-sacrifice. Jesus is the self-sacrifice of God. Jesus, the new Isaac, makes a new creation. And in Jesus, we have the new promise of God. Jesus manifests the new creation, and the new creation is you and I. We are in the new creation, we are his beloved sons. In the new creation, we are his beloved daughters. Baptism changed us. In fact, John the Baptist had been preaching about baptism, and one requisite for baptism, of John's baptism, was conversion, change of heart or change of mind. According to the Hebrew mentality, change of heart means the way you feel. To change the way you feel for yourself, to change the way you feel for others. Definitely you have particular kind of feelings towards your family members, towards your parents, your children, your friends, and your relatives. Then, the way you feel for others, other than your family circle, definitely, whether we like it or not, it is different. But John invites a change of heart, a change of the way we feel for ourselves and the way we feel for others. Then in the Western mind, change of heart, it is a change of mind. Change of mind refers to the way we think of ourselves and the way we think of others. So the baptism calls for a change of heart and mind, of our feelings and of our thinking. One good day, one decisive day, one important day in our life, somebody in our ancestry made the good decision to become a Christian, a Catholic. We remember that person. We do not know your parents, your grandparents, your grand, and great-grandparents. Somewhere, somebody decided to be a Christian, a Catholic. And that changed our whole way of being. They decided to be Christians. Here today we are seated at St. Mary, Mother of God Church for 10:45 Mass, thanks to them. Our identity as a beloved son, our identity as a beloved daughter, therefore, is the fundamental identity in our life. That identity comes before or ahead of our identity to be belonging to our family, our identity to be belonging to a particular nation. Anybody could change their nationality. Our identity to be belonging to a particular club, particular political group, these things come secondary, and our identity as a child of God, as a daughter of God, as a son of God, as a daughter of God becomes the fundamental identity. The other day, a good dad was sharing with me, and he was telling me, "Father, I'm really heartbroken, Father." I asked, "Why?" "Well, Father, my daughter, who is 26 years old, she told me, 'Dad, I am no more a Catholic now.' It broke my heart, Father." I felt the way he was expressing himself. She had said, "Well, I quit the church." You could quit the church, but the church never quits you. There is the famous Latin axiom, "Semel Catholicus, semper Catholicus." Once you are a Catholic, you are a Catholic always. It makes an indelible mark in our lives. After our baptism, whether we practice or not, whether we leave or quit, we continue to remain, continue to carry that identity as the beloved of God. God continues to call us beloved son, beloved daughter, and He expects us to be faithful, to be true to the fact that we are His beloved son, His beloved daughter. God calls us His sons and daughters. He is our Father. When God calls us His Father, His sons, His daughters, all what the Father has becomes ours. We partake that heritage, the inheritance, the patrimony of the Father. That happens usually. So as the faithful sons and daughters, we have that patrimony. Any person could leave you So today we are given the reason not to get into despair, not to be discouraged, not to lose hope, not to feel that you are alone or lonely, because you are a son and you are a beloved son, a beloved daughter of the Father. Therefore, there is no room for despair. Eric Durkheim, the father of sociology, of social researchers, a German, he made his own research. It is found in that famous book on homicide, suicide. He made a research why people commit suicide. And in his research, a sociological, scientific research, he finds that comparatively the Christians, the number of persons who commit suicide are less when compared to others. The reasons he gives is the fact of the faith, the fact of the community, the fact that one feels that one has a sense of belonging to a family, to a parish, a community of people. There is no room, therefore, for us to be losing hope. We are his sons. We are his daughters. Like Jesus heard those words at River Jordan. If you and I could hear those words, already when we are alive and when we are dead, you are my beloved son. You are my beloved daughter, with whom I am well pleased. There is no greater joy than that.